Hey friends, I hope everybody's having a lovely week. We have some beautiful weather, so I decided to film again outside. This week we're going to be making tree paintings. The Tree of Life is something I really enjoy, and one of my favorites is by Gustav Klimt. What I love about Gustav Klimt's work is that first off, I love that it's gold. It's beautiful. I like it. I like the designs. You can tell it's inspired by some Egyptian art with kind of that mosaic pattern. And I love the swirls and all of the tree branches and how they space out. So while I don't have any of his work, I do have some work I was going to show you that Thea and I have created at different points in our life. So following Klimt's idea is I made my own gold tree here. And this is actually our family tree. Here's another one that Thea made. So lots of color here. And then I have done this art in aftercare. So some of you might have something like this. So she made a tree out of pastels and put some flowers in. And then I don't have any tissue paper. If you have tissue paper at home, you can do something like this, where you take and you glue the tissue paper on and then you paint your tree over top of it, and it kind of gives it a nice texture. Instead, I'm going to create my tree using the materials that we've been using this whole week. So again, recycled paper, right? And I have watercolor pencils, I have paint pencils, and I do have some paint if I want to use some paint. And I am going to just make a tree. Now, the nice thing is when you look at the Tree of Life, you notice it doesn't really have a root system. It kind of starts straight on the bottom of the picture here, and then just branches out into this big thing. And it's beautiful. But I have seen there's so many copies of Trees of Life that I have seen some with roots. So I'm actually going to draw one with roots. So I'm going to fold my paper kind of in half, just a light crease, so I can kind of see that this is my halfway mark. So I want to draw, for this one, I want to draw a root system. And I'm just going to kind of draw kind of maybe the trunk area coming up to here. Maybe I want it a little bit wider. Sorry, I'm doing it the wrong way so you can't see. So this is kind of going to be like the trunk. But I'm going to say that like the ground is here, right? So this is going to be my ground. So I'm going to draw a bunch of roots kind of coming off down here like this. So what I love about the Tree of Life is not only was Gustav a kind of a rebel, he kind of looked at art and was kind of like, I want to make it decorative. I want to make it beautiful. It's not just, you know, as is the way you see things. Because where do you see a gold tree? I've actually never seen a tree that's naturally gold. Maybe someone has painted one or something in that nature. So Gustav took something and kind of created something completely new. And what I love about it is that trees are everywhere in the world and they represent so much. Actually, our school symbol has a tree on it. It's got a tree and some birds. I'm going to kind of bring my tree up maybe just a little bit more. Right, maybe a little bit like here. And now I'm going to make my branches. Now you can make your branches however you want. In Gustav's stuff, his branches are in a swirly pattern. There are so many trees out in the world. They're all so unique. You can create a tree however you see fit. And so I'm just going to branch out over here, make some small ones, some big ones, like so. A big one. Gustav's painting was huge. It was actually made to be put up against the ceiling, which is pretty crazy. There were some very rich people that were like, we like your work. Can you make us something to put here? And so Gustav made that Tree of Life painting. You could do this. You could make this with 3 pieces of paper. He made his trunk in here, and then he had 2 other pieces over here. And so the branches went like this all the way out. 7,000 BC, I think they said, is the first tree of life they found in a Turkish cave. So I'm gonna make this so that you can kind of get the idea that there's a ground here. So I'm gonna add some green here. I think you guys have probably all studied metaphors and what metaphors are. And so the tree of life is kind of, or trees, you could just say a tree. The tree is kind of a metaphor for a lot of things. And it means different things to different people all around the world. That's what's really cool, is that everyone, you know, just about everywhere in the world, they represent something to people. So for me, what I like about trees they represent to me growth. Some people see trees as peaceful. To some people, trees represent family, right? Each one of these branches could be a family. You can make something special on each branch. And I'm gonna just kind of add it up in here like so. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Aha, oh, it's not mixed up enough. There we go. So I'm actually just gonna add a little bit of outline to this, just for fun. That's what I love about art. You can just like it, something, decide to add something to it. I love glitter, but glitter makes such a mess. So whoever made glitter glue, somebody might know. I don't know off the top of my head. Woo! I love it. I think it was a ingenious creation to do. So we've kind of added some more decorative elements down here. You know, the trunk stands out, our roots stand out nice and neat. So now I'm gonna work up here on the top. I'm probably thinking, like, I have purple in here. Do I want to carry that purple theme out? Do I want to change the color? Because it's art. I can do it however I want. So in Gustav's art, he actually, if I remember correctly, because I don't have it sitting in front of me, in between branches, he had stuff that looked like crowns, filled with like jewels and stuff like that. Another thing that's really cool and that you see in trees are birds. And in Gustav's painting, he does have a black bird in it, an R Stanton Montessori symbol. I think we have two birds, one on a tree branch and one that's flying away. I think I might make one or two of these thicker just to kind of, you know, shake it up. So I think I'll make this one thicker here, like so. And so you just color it in. And then I feel like this will help make it more solid and stand out from the others. So now I have a very wide tree branch as compared to some of my narrower tree branches. And I could choose to do my whole picture like that. Or I could just choose to maybe add, let's see, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna do this half part of, whoops, the spiral right here and taper it off. Now add some pencil marks in here where I kind of taper it off. Get my paintbrush wet again. right? And it tapers down because that's the way it is in nature. Sometimes it gets small and then big. And this one, as you can tell, it looks like I messed that up a little bit. And instead of getting upset, because I've been worried about like this, I'm just gonna make it a wider tree branch through this area. And I'm gonna add some glitter glue onto some of the trees here, because I just want to make it pop a little bit. Some shapes here. And put a circle. And put a circle here. So one thing I noticed in the painting is that when he had his circles, he has dots in the middle of them. So I think I'm gonna do some dots too. Some lines there. You could add a bird. You could add flowers down here or other animals. It could be whatever you like. So here's just a quick tree of life idea that you could do. Just like the others that I showed you. You could use, as Thea did, and I believe some of my friends in aftercare have done this. Again, you could use glue tissue paper down, wait for your tissue paper to dry, and then you can paint over top of it. I've seen some really cool ones where they don't fill in the trunk. They just use like the outline. So your tissue paper comes through. If you want to embellish your tree of life, you can do that. This one's used pastels, and then we glued on some stuff that we had. I believe this is an aftercare that we had laying around. You could choose to cut out your tree and add stuff to it and paint on your tree. The choice is yours. And you could even choose like this one. So I didn't add any leaves to this. I'm looking at just the tree branches because I was looking at Gustav as my inspiration. But Thea did one, I'll show this again, where you can see the tree branches very clearly, but it's filled with leaves. So you could choose, so where it's filled with leaves, so you could choose to do something like that too. Still show your tree branches and add leaves. All right, friends, that's all for this week.